You didn't stumble across this by accident. Some messages arrive quietly, almost politely, when your heart is finally tired enough to listen. This is one of those moments. There is a love that has never stopped following you. A steady, patient love that knows your name without you saying it. Your mother's presence didn't disappear when she did. Simply changed form. She's no longer limited by time, distance, or words she didn't get the chance to say. And right now, she wants you to feel something very specific. You are still held. She's seen the parts of you that no one else notices. The pauses before you answer. The way your shoulders drop when you think no one's watching. The nights when you replay memories and wonder how life kept moving without her. She knows how strong you've had to be, even when you were exhausted. Especially then. If today you felt a sudden memory surface, a song hit differently, or a familiar feeling passed through you for no clear reason, that wasn't random. Love has its own language. Sometimes it speaks through reminders instead of words. There is protection around you right now. Not in a loud, dramatic way, but in the quiet sense of being watched over. Of doors closing gently instead of slamming. Of harm being redirected before it ever reaches you. This is where the energy of Archangel Michael comes in. Not as something to fear or question, but as reassurance that you are not facing this next chapter alone. Because something is shifting. You've reached a turning point, whether you've named it or not. A moment where old weight can no longer come with you. Your mother sees that clearly. She knows there are wounds you learned to live around instead of healing. She's asking you, softly, lovingly, to stop carrying what was never meant to be permanent. There is nothing weak about needing rest. There is nothing wrong with letting yourself be comforted. And there is no rule that says you have to keep proving how strong you are. She remembers the younger version of you, the moment when something was taken, dismissed, or broken too soon. That memory didn't fade for her, and it never left you either. But she's here now to help you reclaim what was lost. Your lightness, your trust, your sense of possibility. If emotion is rising as you read this, don't push it away. That's not sadness alone. It's recognition. It's your heart realizing it doesn't have to protect itself quite so tightly anymore. A door that's been closed for a long time is beginning to open. It may not look dramatic. It may come through a conversation, a reconnection, or someone new entering your life with a familiar kind of understanding. When it happens, don't retreat. You won't be repeating the past. You'll be responding with the wisdom you earned from it. There's also something important she wants you to release. You didn't fail her. You didn't miss what mattered. You were enough, always. She stayed as long as she could, and when she left, it wasn't abandonment. It was transformation. She needed wings so she could support you in ways a body never allowed. The love didn't lessen. It expanded. If you've been questioning the signs, dreams, sense, sudden emotions, meaningful coincidences, stop doubting yourself. Love doesn't need proof to be real. And soon, those signs will feel less subtle and more certain. You may feel drawn to a photograph or an old memory you've avoided. When you find it, pause, breathe. Let yourself feel what comes without rushing past it. Peace often enters through stillness. And one more thing. Someone around you is also being guided right now. A quiet soul. A familiarache. When you meet them or recognize them, don't close yourself off. Some connections arrive not to replace what was lost, but to remind you that love still moves forward. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. And you are not walking alone now. She wants you to understand something important first. You were never meant to endure everything in silence. You were never supposed to be the one who carried all the weight while pretending you were fine. If you've been doing that, it was never an expectation placed on you, it was just survival. What she hopes for you now is simple and profound at the same time. That you find your way back to genuine joy. Not the kind you force for others, but the kind that sneaks up on you and reminds you what it feels like to breathe fully again. The kind that makes you feel alive enough to move, to laugh, to dance, even if no one else understands the reason. Right now, there's a sense of closeness around you, something familiar and steady. If you slow down for a moment, you might notice warmth, calm, or a quiet comfort that feels like being held without hands. That feeling isn't meaningless. It's the reminder that love doesn't disappear. it changes how it shows up. A mother's care doesn't stop with distance or time. It matures into something even stronger, something that watches over you rather than walks beside you. There's also a message of timing here. This isn't coincidence. You've reached a point where a choice matters more than you realize. One path keeps you repeating the same exhaustion, the same quiet hurt. The other opens into renewal, a return to who you were before life demanded too much too early. You might feel like your spark faded somewhere along the way, but it hasn't been lost. It's been protected, waiting. Very soon, something meaningful will cross your path. It won't announce itself loudly. It may come as a small kindness, an unexpected message, a conversation that lingers, or even a dream that stays with you long after you wake up. You'll recognize it not because it's dramatic, but because it feels personal. Let yourself stay open. This is guidance arriving in an ordinary form, meant to gently redirect you toward something you once hoped for but stopped believing was possible. She still remembers you as you were when you were small, the way your hands fit into hers, the way you reached for comfort without fear. That bond never faded. When nights feel cold or heavy, it's often because you're stretching beyond what you can see, and that connection meets you there. You are not running out of time. There is still space for healing, for love, for dreams that don't scare you anymore. She never wanted perfection from you. She wanted honesty, courage, and a life that felt real. Every tear you've cried mattered. Every moment you thought you were breaking was actually shaping you. Nothing you endured was overlooked. What you survived gave you depth, wisdom, and compassion. And that's why she's proud of you. Not because you were flawless, but because you kept going when it would have been easier to give up. There's a readiness around you now, a sense that old pain doesn't have to define the next chapter. Freedom is available, but it begins with a decision to stop carrying everything alone. You don't need to solve your entire future or be strong every second. You only need to allow support in. Let that sense of comfort settle around your heart. Let yourself rest in it. You are not broken. You are changing. You are shedding the version of yourself that survived at all costs and becoming the one who gets to live with intention. And hear this clearly. Someone will come into your life who offers love without conditions, without tests, without you having to prove your worth. That love will feel calm, not chaotic, safe, not confusing, healing simply because it exists. A deep calm is already beginning to take hold, the kind that feels like remembering who you are. Your journey was never just about you. What you've healed reaches backward and forward, easing burdens you didn't create and protecting people you may never meet. You are the one who ends certain cycles, and that matters more than you know. A breakthrough is close, closer than it feels. It asks for one thing: surrender. Not giving up, but letting go of the belief that you must fight alone. Tonight doesn't require answers or plans. It only asks that you allow love to meet you where you are. She never truly left. She simply changed how she stays with you in quiet moments, in steady guidance, in the sense that you are not alone. As you rest, let yourself be held gently, knowing you are deeply loved. You're approaching a small decision that carries real weight. Choose from clarity, not fear. Choose what feels honest, not what feels safe. She already knows the version of you that exists on the other side of your courage. The one who finally stops negotiating with fear and starts answering the quiet pull that's been there all along. For a long time, you learned how to dim yourself just enough to fit, to stay safe, to avoid being misunderstood. You told yourself it was humility, but really it was self-protection. That season has run its course. Now something different is happening. You're being reminded, gently but clearly, that you don't need permission to take up space anymore. Strength is returning to you, not all at once, but in steady waves. You might notice it as warmth in your chest, a subtle buzz in your hands, or a sense of calm that arrives without explanation. That's not random. It's your system waking up to the truth that you were built for more than endurance. You weren't created just to get through life. You were meant to experience it, fully, honestly, and out loud. What felt like stagnation was never abandonment. While you thought nothing was moving, pieces were quietly being put into place. You're not meant to do everything by yourself anymore. Support is closer than you think, and when the climb gets heavy, you won't have to prove your strength by suffering alone. Even the silence you've been sitting in had a purpose. It was guiding you away from what no longer fit, not pushing you away from love. There's something important you need to hear. There has never been blame placed on you. Not once. No disappointment. No quiet resentment. If you've been carrying shame or guilt like a debt you owe the past, you can set it down now. It was never yours to repay. A part of you that fractured during an old heartbreak, something you lost in a moment of grief, shock, or disappointment, is finding its way back. That version of you wasn't destroyed. It was preserved. And now, integration is happening. You're becoming more whole than you've been in a long time. Soon, you'll notice the world looks slightly different. The sky will seem wider, the air lighter, not because anything outside changed, but because you did. You'll begin recognizing presence in small, quiet ways. In morning light, in sudden peace, in moments where you feel held without being touched. You were never forgotten. There was just a stretch of time where you forgot how deeply supported you are. Your worries have been seen too, the late-night spirals, the questions about stability, money, direction, and whether you're truly enough. You don't need to solve all of that alone. Help is already unfolding, even if it hasn't reached your hands yet. What felt like delays were actually upgrades. Something is shifting around your home and daily life soon. Through news, a conversation, or an unexpected opportunity, and it will remind you that you are not doing life unsupported. A disruption is coming, but it's the good kind, the kind that reroutes you toward what you actually need. It may feel uncomfortable at first because growth usually does, but it's aligned with what you've quietly hoped for, even when you stop saying it out loud. There's also a person from your past resurfacing, someone who's crossed your mind more than you admit. When their name comes back around, it won't reopen wounds. This time, it brings clarity, maybe closure, maybe peace. Trust the calm in your body more than the noise in your head. There's only one thing being asked of you now. Don't go back to emotional hibernation. Don't shut your heart down just because it's been hurt before. Stay awake. Stay open. Pay attention to the small signs that remind you you're not alone. Even in rest, even in sleep, you are being cared for, encouraged to dream again, to hope again. You are seen for how hard you try, for how you keep showing up even when you feel exhausted inside. You are not weak for feeling tired, you're strong for still being here. You're not walking this path solo. Presence will become easier to feel with time. It's woven into you now. Love like this doesn't disappear, doesn't fade, and doesn't need proof to be real. Peace is beginning to settle over your space, over your thoughts, over your future. The heaviness won't last. And soon, you'll realize this wasn't coincidence at all. It was connection, a reminder, a quiet message meant just for you, arriving exactly when you were ready to hear it. She understands you in the way only someone who loved you deeply ever could. Not the version of you the world sees, but the one who learned how to be strong quietly. She noticed how your grief learned to whisper instead of cry, how you carried on because you had to, not because it was easy. Every smile you offered others while your chest ached. None of that was missed. Love like hers doesn't stop paying attention. When you felt alone in crowded rooms, when your hand hovered over your phone out of habit, when the absence hit hardest in ordinary moments, that's where her love met you. Not loudly, not dramatically, just steady, like a presence that never left, only changed form. She didn't disappear from your life. She settled into you, into your values, your resilience, the quiet light you carry without realizing it. There's something she wants you to know now, something tender and honest. Her love for you was always real, even when she didn't know how to show it the way you needed. She was human too, carrying wounds you never fully saw. If there were moments she felt distant, they weren't a lack of love. They were a reflection of her own unhealed pain. And if she could speak plainly now, she'd tell you this. Her love has only grown clearer, stronger, freer of fear. You've been holding yourself together for so long that rest started to feel unsafe. Your body learned vigilance. Your heart learned endurance. But you don't have to stay braced forever. It's okay to soften. It's okay to exhale. Peace doesn't mean forgetting, it means allowing yourself to be supported, even if just for a moment. Healing begins when you stop demanding strength from yourself every second. And this chapter of your life isn't only about recovery. It's about alignment. Paths are shifting. The right people are finding their way closer. Old weight is being released to make room for something steadier, kinder. There's a sense of guidance here, not pushing you forward, but gently clearing what no longer belongs. The light she gave you was never meant to burn out. It's meant to be carried, especially on days when direction feels unclear. It's the reminder that love doesn't vanish, that you are never as lost as you feel, and that even when memory fades into the background, connection does not. You weren't created just to get through the days. Survival was never the finish line, it was the training ground. Every hard season has quietly reshaped you. Pain softened your edges, loss deepened your compassion, and the tears you never planned to cry taught you truths no book ever could. You are becoming someone stronger and kinder at the same time, and heaven has not taken its eyes off you for a second. If your faith ever felt distant, like the line went quiet and you didn't know how to listen anymore, hear this clearly: you were never ignored. Silence does not always mean absence. Sometimes it means preparation. While you were learning how to breathe again, God was still working, still arranging things you couldn't see yet. Nothing about your life was put on pause. Lately, you may notice small interruptions that feel oddly timed. A song that hits exactly where it hurts. A message from someone you hadn't thought about in years. Numbers or moments that stop you in your tracks. These aren't random. They're gentle taps on the shoulder, reminders that you're not walking alone. Pay attention, not with fear, but with curiosity. Life speaks when we slow down enough to hear it. You belong. That truth is being pressed into your heart now. Not loudly, not forcefully, but with certainty. Your story didn't end with what you lost. You are here to carry love forward, not just memory. Grief may have introduced you to this chapter, but presence and purpose will define it. There's an invitation coming to you, a quiet one. Think of a box, literal or emotional, where old memories live. Photos, letters, regrets, words you never got to say. Opening it doesn't mean reliving the pain. It means letting the pain finally move instead of staying trapped inside you. Healing isn't forgetting. It's remembering without being wounded all over again. Peace doesn't erase the past, it makes room around it. You are not unlucky. You are not broken. You are supported in ways you don't always recognize. You've been carrying invisible weight, showing up with a smile while your heart worked overtime just to hold together. That effort mattered. And now, the right people, the kind who feel familiar before you understand why, are beginning to cross your path. You'll recognize them by how safe your chest feels when they're near, by how your spirit exhales. Through them, love will find you again. Before you move on, pause here for a moment. Let this sink in. You are seen. Not for being flawless, but for being faithful to life when it was heavy. For continuing when it would have been easier to close yourself off. For giving kindness even when you felt empty. None of that was missed. Every quiet effort counted. You are protected. You are chosen for a life that still has unfolding purpose. Loss cannot cancel what was placed inside you. If you feel comfort arrive unexpectedly, a calm breath, a warmth, a sense of closeness, trust it. Love doesn't disappear. Changes form. Let yourself cry when it comes. But let yourself hope too. Hope doesn't betray grief. It honors it. Something in you remembers that peace is possible, even if it feels unfamiliar right now. Don't rush your healing, but don't hide from your becoming either. You've spent long enough dimming yourself so others would feel comfortable. The light is still there. The fire never went out. It's time to step forward, not perfectly, not all at once, but honestly, with trust, rebuilding one breath at a time. Your life still has meaning ahead of it, and you are ready even if you don't feel certain yet. You were never fragile in the way the world tried to label you. Even in your quiet moments, there was strength in you. Steady, luminous, unmistakable. She remembers that light clearly. As a child, you carried wonder so naturally, as if curiosity and hope were part of your breath. You looked up at the sky not to escape, but to remember something ancient and familiar. That spark was never lost. It was only waiting. Now, She sees you circling back to yourself. Not retreating, not giving up, but reclaiming. You're shedding layers that were never truly yours. Layers built from noise, pressure, and the weight of expectations. This season isn't about survival anymore. It's about restoration. It's about becoming aligned with the version of you that existed before you learned to doubt your own light. She knows how much you carried for others, how often you stood as the strong one, the steady one, Eve. When your own heart felt tired, you tried to hold everything together with grace, even when no one noticed the cost. And she wonders, gently, what might unfold now if you allowed love back into your life, not as a responsibility, but as a gift. Not something you earn, but something you receive. This is where the shift happens. Not in force, not in perfection, but in permission. The path ahead isn't about proving anything. It's about allowing yourself to be seen again. Your purpose was never meant to be heavy. It was meant to be honest. You're standing at the edge of a decision that's been tugging at you for a while now. You already know which direction is true. The hesitation isn't confusion. It's fear of trusting yourself after everything you've been through. But you're supported more than you realize. You're not walking alone. When your eyes lift to the sky without thinking, when something small and unexpected catches your attention, when calm arrives for no clear reason, that's connection. Love doesn't disappear. It changes form. What once stood beside you now moves through you, guiding quietly, steadily, patiently. You're stepping into a version of yourself that isn't shaped by approval or obligation. A freer version. One that listens inward instead of scanning outward. And that takes courage. Staying open after disappointment is an act of bravery most people never talk about. But she sees it, and she's proud of you. From here on, things begin to soften. You'll notice a difference, not all at once, but gently. You'll meet people who feel familiar in a way you can't explain. You'll start to hear your own voice again, the clear one, not the one formed by old pain or past survival. Life will feel less like resistance and more like rhythm. Every step you take is guided. Every breath is witnessed. You are loved in a way that doesn't require proof or logic. Love meets you in laughter, in stillness, in the quiet relief of a new morning.